Tonight, a vehicle in flames in the Iraqi capital. A US strike so targeted, cars close by appear undamaged, others driving past. But in the aftermath, fury erupting. A crowd chanting no to America, no to Israel. Among those killed, Abu Bakr al-Saadi, a commander in Kataib Hezbollah, the group says, the Iranian-backed militia accused of the killing of 3 American service members in a drone attack on Tower 22, a remote desert base in Jordan, 10 days ago. CENTCOM saying in a statement tonight, US forces conducted a unilateral strike in Iraq in response to the attacks on US service members, killing a Kataib Hezbollah commander responsible for directly planning and participating in attacks on US forces in the region. In addition to the deadly drone strike, Iranian-backed militias have launched over 160 attacks on American targets since October and have kept on attacking American bases in Syria, even after Friday's wave of American retaliatory strikes. President Biden, who's been under pressure to launch a more forceful response, was pressed about it earlier this week.
Are the airstrikes working? Yes.
Tonight, Iraq's military immediately branding the strike a violation of Iraqi sovereignty, with tensions between Iran and the US escalating.
And Keir, you have some new reporting on the timing of all this.
That's right, Lester. Tonight, a US official tells NBC News that Iraq was notified shortly after the strike, but that President Biden made the order early last week. We're told it was carried out as soon as an opportunity presented itself. Lester?
All right, Keir. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.